get ready, okay? Buckle in. Here it is. How many video game talk shows do you know of? None. All right? We're letting it rip right now. Get ready. Games Tribune now.
From the heart of Philadelphia, gaming capital of the world, broadcasting across the nation, live around the world, even throughout the cosmos. It's the Games Tribune now. And at the helm, the only host you'll ever need, upper echelon gamer, TreeBone.
Welcome in, everyone. How are we doing tonight? Give it up. Give it up for the band, everyone. Welcome in to the inaugural episode of the Games Tribune now. Hope everyone's having a wonderful night. This is such a great occasion, isn't it? Wonderful, right? I'm feeling incredible. Let me spark this thing up. How we doing, everyone? How we doing, Tat? You guys heard Apex Legends, right? You guys are gamers. You know, Respawn CEO seems to be so focused on putting out dog shit games, he doesn't have time to make a good one. Respawn CEO Vince Zampella has expressed interest in making a third Titanfall game, but it has to be the right thing, he said, for it to happen. He then went on to say that he'd like to pull the brake handle on the train to stop it from running over the people tied to the tracks, but it also has to be the right thing, the right thing to happen. Boo. Oh, come on. That was a good one. That was a good one. You guys hear Silk Song get delayed again? Do you hear about this? Silk Song gets delayed, right? Crazy. Team Cherry said that since it's a female main character, they have only been able to do 75% of the development they would have done for a man. I know. You heard about that? That's crazy, right? Who's excited for Silk Song? Give it up for Silk Song. Oh, you know what's hot? You know what's hot and new? Breath of the Wild. Or, more importantly, Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel came out last week. Who's excited for this? Yeah? Yeah. I heard it's basically a full upgrade of every feature from the first. Universal praise. Loads of 5-star reviews. But I did see a single 0-star review written by the great king of evil. He was not a fan. He is not a fan of Tears of the Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. A new Assassin's Creed title is rumored to come out. Did you hear about this? Entirely in VR. Can you imagine that? Assassin's Creed VR. Gamers are excited to finally do things they would never be able to normally do, like wear a hood, get lost in a crowd, and use a machine to enter a simulated reality. I know. That's funny. Now, this is something that's near and dear to my heart, everyone. Saudi Arabia increases its stake in Electronic Arts by 55%. You heard about this? It's insane. They're further strengthening their presence in the gaming world. Saudi Arabia. This news is hot on the heels of the info that Final Fantasy XVI will be banned in Saudi Arabia, reportedly for having a gay scene. Yoshi P plans to hold his ground on the matter, saying, what are they going to do? Behead me? You know, Jamal Khashoggi, right? There's news about Overwatch 2. Who's fans of Overwatch 2? Boo, fuck Overwatch 2. They're planning on drastically cutting PvE elements. When a female reporter asked a Blizzard spokesman for a comment, he said, you got a nice set of tits. Hey, yo, let's start the fucking show, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have a show for you tonight? You're going to be so excited, okay? We have with us the one and only, not just yet. The one and only, but our favorite, Dumpster Donuts, baby. Let's give it up for Dumpster Donuts, everyone. Say hi. There he is, baby, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yo.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing incredible. Thank you for coming on the show. How does it feel to be in Madison Square Garden tonight with me?
Oh, it's awesome. It's so beautiful. I've never been here before,
I
and
know.
it's true what they say about the lights and everything.
Yeah, in front of this great crowd. It's true what they say about the lights. That's awesome. So the main reason I wanted to bring Dumpster Donuts on, I wanted to highlight this in the inaugural episode of the Games Tribune Now, is because we're a sect of elite upper echelon gamers. And Dumpster Donuts has done what very few people have done, and he has completed Hollow Knight, Pantheon 5, all bindings. You want to tell us a little bit about your journey through that?
Oh, wow. Well, initially it's something that I never thought I would ever do. I played a lot of Hollow Knight when it first came out.
Yeah.
I was in love with it. Such an amazing game, and I did all the God Home stuff like Pantheon 5, and I was like, yeah, this is epic. But I was like, I'm never gonna do it all bindings. That's impossible. And then my brother did it. He did it, and you know what? I kind of took that personally.
A family of
Like,
gamers.
Yeah, I was like, he
Wow.
can do it. I can do it. So that's what it was. And then you were there actually for a big part of the
This is how we met. Yes, I was
this is how I met
searching
you,
Hollow
yeah.
Knight streamers, and I said, "Oh, you know what? Because it's so hard. I say this all the time. I'm in a constant journey to find elite gamers, and I can't find them. And then I found one. And what was he doing? Pantheon 5 all bindings. Now, for people not familiar with Hollow Knight, Pantheon 5 is how many bosses?
42.
42 consecutive bosses. There's breaks. I think there's a break to heal like every couple, like 10 or something like that.
It's the first one's after 10, and then it's every 5 after that.
Every 5 after that. And then and you also had all bindings.
Yeah.
So you have some restrictions on. What was that? What does that entail?
It basically just makes you weak as hell. You have no HP, like less than you even start the game with. You have 4. It cuts your nail strength in half pretty much, so it's equal to like after you've upgraded it twice. So it's like mid-game nail strength, and then you can't have any charms, and you can only charge a max of 1 soul notch. So that means you can do 1 spell or 1 heal before you need to get more soul.
Yeah.
Which that might be the hardest part.
Yeah, I mean it's quite the achievement. I mean, everyone, give it up for Dumpster Donuts. Oh wait, I played the wrong clip. Oops. I had the wrong one queued up. That was supposed to be clapping. I had the wrong one queued up. But give it up for Dumpster Donuts. Seriously, not very few people have completed Pantheon 5 all bindings. You have my complete respect, and you have made it into the realm of upper echelon gamers.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very few people have done that. You should be very proud of yourself. So what sort of gaming background do you have, do you think, that got you to this place?
Well, I've always loved 2D side scrollers and platforms and stuff. Like some of my earliest memories is playing Mega Man on the Nintendo Classic, the old one.
Yeah.
Like the old Mega Man. And then growing up Super Nintendo, Super Nintendo was like the most formative time of my life. Like playing Mega Man X, Yoshi's Island, like Super Metroid, Link to the Past, like those games defined me as a gamer. Like,
oh yeah,
especially like the Mega Man series. Like I think like Hollow Knight, even though people think like it's very similar to like Castlevania and like Metroid and stuff, I think like some of the boss design takes from like Mega Man at times, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot more Mega Man in it than Metroidvania stuff. Sometimes, especially even like simple stuff, wall jumping and dashing, kind of,
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I've always loved challenging games like my entire life. I'm the kind of person that like I'm gonna put it on hard mode. If there's a hard mode, I'm playing on hard mode.
I think you also mentioned, this is another elite achievement, about you beat Sekiro with some caveats as well.
With there's the charm. You can give I forget his name, the like Dragon Boy.
The dragon's heir, yeah.
Which basically makes it so then you take chip damage when you block. So you just pretty much can't block anymore because like by the time you get to end game, the chip damage is like real damage,
Yeah.
So Yeah, that, and then I had the Demon Bell at the same time, which basically just like makes the game like one like new game plus harder of enemies. So that with the chip damage, because that was my first time I ever fought Sword Saiyan Ishin was like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, my first playthrough I went the Al route, and I like sided with Al right away. I was like, let's do it. He was like, side with me, my son. I was like, word, all right, bet.
Now, what do you think drives you to do these challenges? Because I've noticed something where there's like a stat online. I'd have to look it up, but like a large majority of gamers won't even finish a game on normal, and a large majority of them, especially like even beyond that, won't do it on hard. So this is like very small percent. We're talking 90th percentile of gamers doing challenges like this. What motivates you or drives you to want to do stuff like this?
It gets me really excited. Like being, like when I was there at the peak of Pantheon 5, all bindings, fighting Radiance, like such an adrenaline rush, you know, like I showed you after I did it, like my hands were literally shaking because I was like on another level. It's like so intense, and like, and I guess that's my form of like being an adrenaline junkie, because like I just, that kind of excitement, I don't get that like from a lot of other things, you know?
I agree. It's sort of like the excitement you get from a high intensity like sporting event or like a tournament level video game. I was like my heart was stopping watching you play it when you get to the final boss. It was intense. It was very enjoyable to watch.
I physically felt my heart like moving my chest forward.
It was punching your bones trying to get out.
Yeah.
How do you manage the nerves?
The nerves?
When you're shaking in that last one, yeah. Are you thinking about it? Do you ever like have a moment of cognizance and you're like, oh crap, like I'm really out of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that?
I mean, it's all about centering yourself. Like, I've done like meditation and stuff for other reasons in my life just to help me like be more grounded, and like I feel like the breathing practices from that can help a lot. Like you probably heard me like take deep breaths like in gaming sometimes to try and center myself. I'm like, yeah.
I unfortunately do the opposite. I've caught myself playing a very tense game, and then I'll be like, I just wasn't breathing for the last minute.
That can happen too. Yeah.
And it's like I like come out of it and I'm like, whoa, where was I just now? Yeah. Where was I?
Yeah.
But that is, I'm not sure. Do you have the? I guess it doesn't have. There's no like stats on it. I wish there were to see how many people have actually completed Pantheon 5 all bindings. Probably.
No, there's no stats on that, but I was looking at recently a list of people that have beaten Pantheon 5 hit list, and that's just like 54 people in the world.
Well, let's talk about this. Isn't this your next venture?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's fill us in on the next steps for Dumpster Donuts.
Like I said, I never thought I would do Pantheon 5 all bindings, which is already like, I could say hands down the hardest thing I've ever done in a video game. It was unbelievable.
Oh wow.
Difficult.
Yeah.
But after it was over, I just started thinking like, man, it was so fun. Like I want to do something like that again, you know?
Yeah.
So then I learned about there's a team on Twitch called Team Hitless, which is people that have there's certain games that qualify to be a hitless game, like Sekiro or Blasphemous or Dark Souls, and if you can beat these games hitless, then you could be on Team Hitless. So I was like, and one of the things that it qualifies is beating Pantheon 5 hitless. So I was like, this is me. I'm like, I can do this.
That's cool. That's a lofty goal.
Yeah, and I'm not like disillusioned. I know it's way harder than the bindings is, because even though like I'm not using the bindings for it and I have like my charms and everything, like there's no wiggle room for mistakes when you're doing hitless.
Yeah.
It's like you have to play flawlessly for all 42 bosses.
Now this is something that I find very interesting, where I've talked about this before, where in games like Hollow Knight and Dark Souls and even Sekiro, you have to be very engaged. It's a game where you cannot really take a rest. Hollow Knight pretty much only when you're doing like these higher level challenges or something like that. But you have to be engaged the whole time, because every one of those games can take advantage of a weak moment and completely take over. So there's that level of intensity there too. But then also this is another level where you're saying I'm going to master the game completely where I will not get hit, and that's going to take like a lot of progress. Are you feeling any like? Is there any feelings of dauntingness? Are you feeling like overwhelmed by having to do that? Or are you excited going into that challenge?
I'm mostly excited. Like, even a lot of people, I've talked to like a lot of people who play Hollow Knight, and they're like, they were already like impressed that I had done all bindings, but when I tell them that I want to attempt Hitless, they're like, "Are you crazy?" they're like, "You understand how hard it is, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But it's just, I don't know. It's like I said, that thrill of like when I was doing all bindings, like it's so fun, especially with you there, man. Like, and rooting
yeah,
for me.
it is entertaining. Look, I say it all the time. What I stand for, what this whole thing is about, is I love my upper echelon gamers. Okay, there's not many people out there like you that are top tier at the game. I can say without a doubt, you're far better than me at Hollow Knight. It's impressive. It's insane.
Oh, thank you.
You're immaculate. The talent is immeasurable. The style is impetuous.
It's practice. Honestly, it's a lot of practice, because I've watched a lot of streamers, and like I've watched people like struggle to beat like, like Grim or something, and but then you see like something they do, like the way they move in a second. I was watching someone earlier today fight Grim, and they were dodging his fireballs in his pufferfish phase in a way I've never seen before. I literally have never thought of doing it. And it was so effective, and they were like, they thought they sucked at the game, and I'm like, I was blown away. Like, I have like 500 hours in this game, and I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, I don't think what I do is as unreachable as, because I never thought I could do it, but I think people are more capable of doing something than they think they are.
I love your humility, but I gotta tell you, dude, as a guy who has played 1 million games and who considers myself very egotistically one of the best gamers of all time, you are very good at the game. You're not giving yourself enough credit. I don't think a lot of people can do what you did.
Well, thank you.
Pantheon 5 all bindings that's an incredible accomplishment.
Thank you so much. Here's to more. I'm ready. I gotta do Hitless before Silk Song comes out. That's my goal.
So when's the Hitless before Silk Song comes out? So when is the next stream? When can we see Dumpster Donuts next attempting?
Oh, probably sometime next month, because I'm moving right now. I've been so busy, like just packing stuff up and moving it into the new apartment. So, I just found out like a few days ago that I made a Twitch affiliate.
Congratulations!
So I'm going to be excited, because when I come back, I might not play Hollow Knight right away, because I think I might do like an art stream and I want to draw my emotes.
Oh, that's fun. That's a good idea. I love that.
Yeah, so...
Well, I'll be in there.
And then once I get that all set up, then I'll be ready to go,
Yeah, and just for the viewers, what's your new address going to be? Just in case anyone wants to come sit. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So you do art as well, you were saying?
Yeah.
Is that your art behind you on the wall?
Oh, up there? No, that's just a poster.
Oh.
Though I painted the walls myself, though. I'm gonna have to unpaint them though, because when I'm moving, so.
Oh, damn.
I'm not too excited about that.
No. I don't think unpainting is a thing. You're just gonna have to paint it again.
No,
You're not gonna vacuum the paint out.
You haven't heard of vacuum paint?
No. I'm gonna have to vacuum the paint off my walls before I go. I usually just leave and suck it up, and I say, you just take the fucking deposit, dude. I don't care.
No, fuck that.
They're not gonna give it back, dude. Landlords do not give back deposits.
I've gotten back every deposit I've had so far. So.
This is an even greater accomplishment than Pantheon 5 all bindings. I've never gotten a deposit back.
I try, I make a point. I take pictures, I make sure everything's good.
That's smart, dude. These guys, you're lucky. You have decent people that you've worked with. I've been screwed over. I had a manager that was like legit like a slumlord, and he just like stopped. He stopped contacting me. I was like, I have my thing back. He just like never responded to me. Wouldn't answer my calls or anything. There's nothing I could do.
Oh no.
I was like, dude, I spent all that time vacuuming the paint off of this wall, and you're not even gonna help me out?
Dude, you know how much I invested in vacuum paint?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. So we'll keep a lookout for you next month. Pantheon 5, hitless. What a quest. What a quest. What a gamer quest.
I'm gonna do it. No. It's not a matter of if I'll do it, it's when I do it.
Love it. Love it. Love to hear it. I agree entirely. Got anything else you want to promote while we're here?
Promote? I don't know. Just mostly check me out on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm playing after I do Hollow Knight, I'll hitless. I don't know what I'll do because hopefully by then Silksong will be out and then I'll be playing that.
And they got a lot more new challenges.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd want to play my first playthrough on stream of Silksong because I think I might just want to be able to just
Oh yeah.
keep it to myself.
First time's got to be private, a little one-on-one sesh.
A little private. Just me.
Yeah.
Me alone in my
Just you and her. Just you and her. Yeah.
me and her.
before you get other people involved. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I get that entirely. Oh, there's also another thing. Now, we forgot to mention this. Now, this is an entirely self-created challenge where you and your brother played a mod of Hollow Knight with randomized room entries, right? And what else did you have? It was randomized room entries, randomized item locations.
Yeah.
It was an insane mod.
And it took away all the item locations were all mixed up, and also various abilities you have to re-get, like the ability to swim in water we didn't start with. We had to find that, and it's separate from Isma's tier, which lets you swim in acid. So acid swim and regular swim were two separate items we had to find. And
you had it mirror imaged, right?
And it was flipped horizontal.
Yeah.
It kind of messed with me a lot, even after I'd finished it, because I was watching someone else play Hollow Knight, and I was really confused about where they were, and I realized I was thinking of the flip version of the map.
I remember watching this was like one of the craziest things. You really like this game. You're so dedicated. So each room, going into every room, normally you go Hollow Knight, you go right, and you go into the next adjacent room. But it would just send you to a random room, and you were creating your own map so that you would know where to go next. You had to make your entire own map of the place while you're doing it. Sometimes you got each like left, right, and up slashes differently, down slash. You got everything was a separate item. It was all separate. All of that. Both of you were playing at the same time. That was another insane accomplishment.
I could have done that alone. I think.
Yeah.
The fact that it was co-op was what made it so fun.
Yeah, that was a wild one. That's like a war of like attrition almost. You just like.
I'll probably do more of those in the future. We've talked about it. And
damn.
We've talked about ways to make it even crazier.
I don't know how you have the determination. I lost one Steel Soul run 2 weeks ago, and I'll never go back.
I don't know, man. Losing has never bothered me. I've been saying I used to play a lot of Smash, and I would tell people this a lot. Like when they get tilted a lot playing, they would ask me why don't I ever get tilted when I lose in Smash, and I told them I like to lose because those are the most exciting matches for me. Those are like the ones where I learn a lot of things. Where I'm like, I get to think about what did I do wrong? What can I do better? Like if I won like 10 matches in a row and then suddenly I lost, like I would be like so attacked. I'd be like, oh shit. I'd be like,
that's the elite gaming mindset. That's why you advance so much. Because
it's about the journey.
You're learning and adapting.
They're games. They're supposed to be fun.
What do you think it is about Hollow Knight, though? Would you consider it your favorite game? You've invested all this time in all these different challenges. Yeah.
It's up there, right between Hollow Knight and Outer Wilds, which are very different games. I love them both for very different reasons.
Yeah.
But I really like Hollow Knight because Hollow Knight's more my typical speed. I love 2D platformers and like fast-paced action games with the really twitchy controls. You can move very quickly.
Yeah.
Dude, I recently, just last week, played Metroid Dread for the first time and am obsessed. Metroid Dread is so good. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's an incredible game. If you had to, actually, now that we talk about it, I'm gonna give you first because Metroid Dread might be my I think it's like the best game of all time. If you had to give me a 1, 2, 3,
best.
Yes. If you had to give me a 1, 2, 3, what do you think are the best games of all time? And I'm talking like. As far as like a video game goes, it could be like culturally, it could be like whatever has a huge impact. What do you think? Give me your 1, 2, 3, not favorite, but what do you think are the 1, 2, 3 best?
The greatest games ever made.
Yeah, not your personal. What do you think is the best? Give me 1, 2, 3.
The greatest games ever made.
Because if you need a minute to think, because I would say my number one hit for the longest time, it still might be. It goes. I waffle back and forth with Super Metroid. I think it's legitimately the best game of all time.
Really good.
And the only reason I keep putting it over Dread is because it's lasted since 1995 or whenever it came out, 97. I don't know.
This is an interesting conversation because I was just recently talking to my friend about this. Like the idea of like you could say like Dread is a better game than Super Metroid because it improves upon a lot of things and is like really cool, but like these older games like Super Metroid or a game like Ocarina of Time have this incredible impact where like these later games wouldn't even exist without them.
Exactly. So the Metroid did that with like Dread improved upon the Super Metroid foundation, but Super Metroid set that foundation with nothing behind it. No, I mean Metroid 1, but it was completely different. No expectations, nothing to follow on. They were the trendsetters, and it has lasted throughout all that. I legitimately think it's the best game ever made. So while Dread I think is like a more complete, it has fixed it has modernized Super Metroid, but it hasn't been around for 25 years.
Yeah, that's a good one. In terms of like best games and like most impactful video games, I always think of Ocarina of Time because like so many like games like that are like they like just look at Dark Souls. Like it's just like a more polished Ocarina of Time. Like all the mechanics are like almost exactly the same, like the combat and everything. The 3D camera, like going around, like
the lock on. I didn't realize they just stole Z targeting from Ocarina. I had no clue.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's not even like that. I mean, everyone is. Like,
oh yeah.
They defined like.
Well, that's exactly like sort of what we're saying with Super Metroid, where now Ocarina was like the 3D trendsetter for so many things, and that's why I think it's so popular. Not because I legitimately think it's an incredible game on its own right, but also like you wouldn't have. The transition from 2D Zelda to 3D Zelda was like incredible.
Yeah.
You would put Ocarina of Time as your number one?
No.
What's your number one then? What's your best game of all time?
Wait.
Yeah.
Best game?
Best game of all time.
It's such a hard question.
I'll tell you. So we did a draft. I really want to do this again. We did a draft, a video game draft of the best video games of all time, like a year ago. And me, Isaac, Bone Tree, Tat was in there, a couple of people. And my number one, I'll go through a couple of my number one was Super Mario 64.
Yeah, that's another really influential game. Yeah.
I think Isaac had 5. We picked 5 games. I think he had 4 Super Nintendo games. He did.
I mean, between that and Zelda, they pretty much defined like platforming and like action games like right there.
So if you had your number one, well, just if you had to throw it out, your number one best game of all time.
Best game ever made. The absolute man.
You can give it 1, 2, 3. Like no pressure. Just let
1, 2, 3.
Just interested to hear. It's more of a thought experiment.
I mean, Super Metroid's a really good answer. I personally really love Kirby Superstar.
Wow.
That's like one of my favorite games with Super Nintendo. It's just so fun. It's just such a wickedly fun game. And I was so jaded that they never brought back that like helper mechanic where you could like turn any power into player 2.
Yeah.
They never brought that back in any other game ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was the coolest thing. I played with my brother. I was like,
they don't have co-op stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, I miss that. I
know.
love Kirby Superstar. I think that might be like one of the best games ever made.
Wow.
That and I mean, I still think of Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is probably one of the best games ever made. I think it's really amazing on its own right, but it's also really influential. It's just such a great game, and probably Donkey Kong, like the original one with Mario.
Oh really? Whoa!
The game's insane.
Where you jump over the barrel? Like the arcade game?
The game is like 16 kilobytes.
That's crazy, dude. That's a good pick. That's such a good pick. I actually love that. It's one of those pioneer type ones. Do you actually play that game?
Yeah, of course. Who hasn't played that?
Young people.
Was I ever good at it or serious at it? No, but I think I got at least like 3 or 4 levels into it.
Yeah, probably. Who knows? You have to. If you've ever played Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong 64, you have to beat a couple levels on it. There's like a coin you have to get. You have to play it.
Oh, you're right.
They make you play it. Isn't that weird?
That might even be like the memory I'm going back to.
Maybe that's the only way you've played it.
That's crazy.
That's
Forgot
crazy.
it? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Because in second player in that, they only let you have one power: Spear, Waddle Dee.
Which one's Forgotten Land?
What's the newest one on the Switch?
Oh.
They have one option for player 2. In Kirby Superstar, you could turn any copy ability into player 2, and they'd have a full moveset, and it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that is cool.
They never did it ever again.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on Kirby. I mean, they're only just getting back into Metroid. So.
Yeah, I was so impressed with Dread.
Oh, it's dude, it's
when's the
incredible.
last time they made a 2D Metroid?
Fusion.
And yeah, and.
Oh wait, no, they remade Metroid 2 for 3DS.
Oh yeah. 3D.
It ruled. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh really?
It was so good. Yeah,
Oh,
dude, they do a really cool thing at the end of it. The last power up you get is a fucking Metroid, and it just follows you around, eat shit.
What?
Yeah, it's super cool. Have you ever played the second one on like the Game Boy? Dude, it's fucking weird. You just kill like 30 Metroids.
I was never good at it. I think Super Metroid was the first Metroid I beat all the way through on my own.
I play it like once a year. It's the best game ever. It's so
Metroid
good.
2?
No, Super Metroid.
Super...
So what are you looking forward to in the future? Silk Song? Any other games on your horizon?
Honestly, Silk Song's like probably the only game that I'm genuinely like really excited to play.
Damn.
I'm kind of excited for Blasphemous too.
Yeah.
Not, like, super
I never beat the
excited,
first
but
one.
It's cool.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. Silk Song is the shit. That's like what I want to play.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. That's gonna be fun. Hey, they did a great job with Hollow Knight. I love Hollow Knight. You know what?
Now they have a huge budget, which is gonna make it even better.
The only thing I would say, I do think that Hollow Knight is tough for. I don't think it's like user friendly for newbies. I think that I stuck it out, and actually my first time playing Hollow Knight, I hated it. I beat it. I bought it on PC like back when it came out, 2015 or whatever. When did it come out? 2016? 2015? Was it earlier than that? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I bought it when it came out on PC. I beat it. I remember it took me like 16 hours, and I remember like not liking it and just being like, yeah, I'm just gonna get to the end. And then I like went through like later and like replayed it, and I was like, oh, I like this a lot. And I think it grows on you in that way where it's really good. But I hated the map system in the beginning. I absolutely fucking hated the map system. And I think it's a huge turnoff for a lot of people. I
got lost a lot.
On one hand, I love it because it's like you get immersed in the game and you really learn it because you have to like look at your map all the time. On the other hand, I'm like, it's an archaic thing. So it's like I kind of go back and forth. The thing for me, this will always be number one. If a game has like really good gameplay, it supersedes everything else. I don't care about story. I don't care about whatever. Like it could have like negatives, right? There's like it could have bad things, but like the I know he's getting lost in it, but he like the combat is tight and it feels very fair and it's very specific. What I press is happening. There's not a lot of lag or like downtime, so it feels very tight and fluid to play, which is very rewarding.
That is what appeals to me the most about the game. That's why I like doing the Pantheon so much, because it's just straight combat all the time. And the controls are so good.
The boss rush,
I like the really twitchy, fast controls where you have like, you know, like you can react so quickly. That's what Mega Man is. I love that stuff.
Exactly. Like when you press like, there's no like turnaround animation. You can press like left, right, and you just go blah 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 blah. Like they go, oh yeah, we're a video game. We're gonna play like a video game, and that's what people want. I think that's why like I put Super Metroid up there, because there's essentially like no story. It's just really tight controls and a cool game.
Really tight gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it excels for me. So that's why like I kept coming back to Hollow Knight, because I was like, oh, the gameplay is just so good. I want to give it another shot. And then I played it again and again and again. And then I have a file that's near the end on max %. I never did I don't like the boss rushes. I'm not good enough at it. But maybe one day. You got me back into it recently. Well, again, dude,
Watch me
there's
do it enough.
there's something I honestly did. There's something about like that's what I was saying. I don't understand where your tenacity comes from because I did not when I got to like 108% or whatever. All I have left to do is the Pantheons. And I was like, I remember trying the first one and I lost to like Mato or whoever because he's a new boss, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I don't know if I want to put in the time to learn all these bosses. And I like took a break and I saw you do it and I was like, hey, it would be kind of cool to do that.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that tenacity on my own. That's why I'm saying I'm so impressed. But I don't know where you got yours from. You just like went for it.
I just love games.
That's too simple. You need that can't be your answer.
I just
I like video games, and that's why I play them.
The journey is exciting for me. I don't get frustrated when I make mistakes because I try and take like a proactive approach. I try and really think about what was my mistake. I was like, what was I doing
Yeah.
that made me suck ass? So maybe I should try and stop doing that. And I think getting over that hurdle, like, and realizing like I'm playing better is like very exciting feeling.
Yeah.
You remember when you saw me when I was trying to get ready to do bindings, and I was like, I kept practicing the radiance over and over and over and over again, and then I got to the point where I could just
You beat it.
every
You
time,
beat it
like,
twice in a row, and you said I'm in. Yeah.
dude. I was like, and I don't know. I mean, I can't say I never get frustrated because after like trying something for like 4 hours and then not being able to get it. Yeah, get good.
I would say that you have a better mindset than a lot of people. I get far more frustrated than you when I play.
Yeah, I mean, what I say to anybody is games are always supposed to be fun. So if you're getting frustrated, just take a break or stop playing.
No, my advice is the exact opposite. If you're getting frustrated, break something around you. Break your personal belongings.
Destruction.
Any video game fans in the chat? Anyone like video games here? I didn't realize that.
I hate them, actually.
I do this as personal punishment.
I just love to struggle.
Yeah.
I just recently played that game Fight Night. I don't know if you saw that.
I did, yeah. You're like the Sisyphus of gaming. Right?
Fight Night's cool because like it's just about this guy who loves to fight, and they call him the struggler because they're like, you just want to struggle. They're like, you're never satisfied. You're always looking for a struggle. And I'm like, I related to that so much. I was like, that's me. Like, I just want to be challenged. Like, as soon as, once you get to the top of like that mountain that you're trying to climb so high, all you can see up there is more peaks. And you're like, well, what's at the top of that one? Like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think that you're relating to people, but this is just an elite gamer mindset. We can't even comprehend what you're talking about. You got it, dude. You're going for it. I love it. You're a legend.
I love Celeste too. I will admit, Trez, to you that Celeste is like one of the only games I have ever rage quit, and playing the final chapter, the farewell chapter, chapter 9 that they released like a year later, which is ridiculously hard, and I never finished it. I just gave up because I got so mad at it.
I don't think I ever played that. I definitely beat the game. I don't remember when, but
yeah, I had done almost everything in it. I beat all the A, B, and C sides of every level, and then they were like releasing one more chapter, and oh god, it's so hard. Anyone who's beaten chapter 9 of Celeste, like, you're amazing because it is so hard.
I never even tried. I like challenging myself with stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I don't want to. I just can't be my life for the next whatever. I don't want to. I can't get that involved in Celeste. I mean, the games that really like drag me in that have like a thing there, but that one was like Celeste sort of like one of those games that's challenging, but it gives me anxiety.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I can articulate for you exactly why I don't like Celeste compared to like Hollow Knight, because the kind of platforming Celeste, it's like you're inputting a code. You have to do these very specific set of inputs and not mess it up very precisely and over and over and over and over and over again. You know, it's very, like, once you die like 200 times on a level and you're like, I still can't get it, it's just like, I want to kill myself.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to do this in real life now. It's time. All right. What a wonderful time we had. I got to say thank you to Dumpster Donuts for coming on. Thank you for helping me with the inaugural episode of Games Tribune Now. It was a pleasure to have you. Everyone, if you don't know, Now you know. Check out Dumpster Donuts on Twitch. Completed Pantheon 5 all bindings on Hollow Knight. His next quest, Pantheon 5 hitless. He's going to be team hitless soon. Give it up for Dumpster Donuts, everyone.
This is so much fun.
Take a bow. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Take a bow. You earned it. All right, man. Until next time, thank you again for coming on.
Peace. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. All right. That was a blast. Thank you, Dumpster Donuts, for coming on. Thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of the Games Tribune Now. We're going to have more of those in the future, more to come. Same sort of style, everything the same, but new guests, and we're going to get going soon.